Hey, what's up, guys? The Strong Boys 19 here, and I am back to do another 2014 album review. And for this one, I'm going to be reviewing the new album from one of my favorite bands in metal named Ektomorf, entitled Retribution. Now, if you haven't come across this band before, Ektomorf are an Hungarian metal band, and the musical style that Ektomorf had done pretty much are the genres of mostly some bits of thrash and a lot of groove metal at the same time. And this band had been very influenced by different genres besides thrash and groove metal, involving some new metal, some hardcore, and some other genres. And from my reviews back at 2012, I have reviewed their previous effort entitled Black Flag, and this album had been one of my anticipated albums of 2014. So, Ektomorf, in my opinion, had never been one of the bands that disappointed me by, any of their albums. To me, they've never made a weak album, basically. So, yeah, in my opinion, guys, this is another really good Ektomorf release, and it's just 13 tracks and it runs at over 42 minutes long. So, this is just an album where it's pretty much like the other albums that Ektomorf had done throughout their entire career, and the music creativity that they have done, it's not really over the top, like technical or just, complex all the way through. It's just simple and easily one of the most memorable and catchiest pieces of instrumentation I've ever listened to from any band. And when it comes to that, it really reminds me of the 90s era from Korn, especially from their first two albums and maybe some of their other albums like, Issues and Follow the Leader and stuff. And, Ektomorf can really bring their own influences from the bands that they love and make their own pieces of instrumentation, and they can just make them stand out, really. So, yeah. And there's just a lot of songs on this album that are just as heavy, brutal, and aggressive as a lot of their previous albums. A lot of very good songs in this album. Songs like You Can't Control Me, Face Your Fear, Escape, Souls of Fire, I Hate You, and this is a very serious band, really, because just the way that the songs really go and how the vocals sound, it's just full of pure hatred. So, yeah, I'm not going to pronounce any of the names from the band members because I really don't want to butcher them. So, yeah. But anyway, the vocals on the album are just very good stuff. It has a very angry and a roaring vocal range, and he just lets it out from the top of his voice, and they really do stand out. And when I hear some of the tracks on the album, I think involving uh, Numb and Sick, or maybe Lost and Destroyed, I can't remember, I hear some pieces of clean vocals on some of the parts on some tracks. So that is pretty much quite a surprise, really, because I think that's just unique. Some bands would like to try something new, and whether they would work or not, but when I hear those clean vocals, I think it's just quite surprising, really. So the cleans are, unique stuff. So the vocals do stand out, like the previous albums that Ektomorf had made. The guitar playing on the album, it's just pretty much the same, like the instrumentation from the band, simple and catchy, and The distortion of it is absolutely great. It does have a very aggressive and raw tone to it, and it's just absolutely great. The drums sounds on the album, it's just as aggressive as playing the drums. The sounds on the drums just sounded aggressive, and it does remind me of other drummers that can bring their own aggression on the drums when they've been recording their stuff for the music. The bass guitar work in the album, very very good stuff, and it does have another really good heavy tone to it, like the electric guitars. So, you know, as I said before, this band's never made any albums I would consider, mediocre or just poor in general. So, they have been one of my favorite bands for pretty much quite a long time. So, I really do recommend Retribution by Ektomorf, and it's just pretty much like every Ektomorf album that you ever listen to. If you are a fan of them, it's just all there because it does have the intense moments of aggression. It's catchy, memorable, easy to follow, and it's full of hatred, emotion. So that's just pretty much like that. So if you are really looking forward to be checking out this band, I really do recommend some of their previous albums first, and like I said, it will remind you some of the other metal bands that you love listening to, like I said about the Korn example, because when it comes to different metal bands that can make their own pieces of music, they can make their influences stand out from the metal bands that they love listening to, and they can just bring it to life of their own songs in general, really. So I'm just very proud to be listening to this album and just to review with you guys. So that's just really all I've got to say about Retribution by Ektomorf. It's another really good release from this band, and I'm going to give Retribution by Ektomorf a 9 out of 10. So it's definitely one of my favourite albums of 2014. And let me know what you guys think of this album. Let me know in the comments. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back to do more of these reviews in the future, and keep it metal.